Hey Lester, this is Ben, PowerWF. Uh, Last time we talked, we were talking about using PowerWF for Microsoft Message Queue. And said then, and I'll say it again now, that PowerWF is built for PowerShell. It makes PowerShell easier, regardless of what you're trying to do with it, including MSMQ. So let's start with, again, the PowerShell window. Let's take a script that's going to get us some MSMQ messages. So let me copy over this script. We're going to load up the messaging assembly. We're going to get our Lester queue. We need to set up a filter, and we're going to get messages. That's what we're going to do. So as a script, that's what the PowerShell script looks like. We're going to play and run this. I see that as output, I got my assembly information. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to assign that to a variable because I don't want to see that as output. I really want to see all these messages. So this has been run once, so I know we can go look at the variables and see messages and drill into that right away and just start perusing. But what I really want to do is look at that in a data grid. Of course, there are no results from the script other than the original assembly, so we're going to need to add a line here at the end, $messages. And this time, you see we have message information here in the console, and we go to the result grid. Now we can see the messages, and that's pretty cool. That's useful just as a sort of editing tool. But let's insert this code into the workflow and see what it looks like as a workflow. So I hit insert, and I'm presented with this. These workflow activities. First is the assembly load. Second, where we set up the get the Lester queue. Next is the filter setup, and you see it's broken this down in two different statements. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to lasso these two, because really they're doing the same thing. If I edit that PowerShell, it'll bring both those statements into my editor, and I really want to treat those as a single script block. So I'm going to hit the checkbox here and replace, and it'll make those two things just one thing. That'll make it a little more readable. It's doing the same thing. In fact, I'll even name it config filter. And I think the annotation is fine, which it's using it's teasing out script as annotation. And last, of course, is messages. That's good, but I'm going to take off the assignment to the messages variable, and I'm just going to have it get all messages. So now if I play this, I should be able to get the same thing in workflow as I did in PowerShell, only I can move this workflow around a little more readily to other places like creating an executable or what have you. Just let's see how this works. And sure enough, I see those messages. Let's go back into the PowerShell for this last activity, and I can see there are my messages right there. Now it's got all the data from messages, and then it's maybe a little too much data. So I'm going to use my control click ability to change what gets selected. So I'll click on arrived time. I want to know about that. I'm going to click on label. I want that. I'm going to click on sent time. These other times. Just those. And you see it's changed the script for me. In fact, I can hit play again and see that just selects those columns. So that was a nice, easy way to modify the script. And I'll go ahead and replace my current script with that. So now, if I run, and I already know that I don't care about his output, so I'm going to say suppress output. I don't care about his output, so I'll suppress his output. So I only want to see the output of this. So now if I rerun, and there we go. That's the data I want. Now we can create an executable with this, deploy this somewhere else. Just as a quick test, I'll create an executable. We're a little slow on CPU just because we're doing a screen recording. And here it is. There's the executable. Just run it again. So there you go. Anyway, that's a good start. Thanks, Lester, and keep watching.